Good morning, everyone. It's Mary. It's time for another episode of the Monday Morning Leadership Bite. And today is actually my birthday. And if you are connected with me on Facebook, you know that I have spent the weekend celebrating. Because my birthday fell on a Monday, I went ahead and co-opted the weekend and celebrated my weekend then. And I don't mind telling you that I turned 49 today. And I don't mind telling you because I think it's important that I know at times, especially for women, we want to hide our age, but I think it's important to not hide those accomplishments that we've made, that we've been able to accomplish something that maybe and some people in our family or friends have never been able to accomplish. So I'm grateful for every year that I have, and I'm grateful for many more. As a matter of fact, I am starting a small little project called 50 to 50. So starting this week and into the month before my birthday, I am going to be doing 50 things that I want to do before I turn 50. And I'm not going to call it a bucket list. I'm going to call it an adventure list. And that's because it really isn't anything. I've actually been very blessed to do a lot of fantastic things. So these aren't necessarily things that, oh, I wish I would do this, because I have done quite a bit. But these are just things that it's going to mark my milestone year of turning 50. By just this journey. So stay tuned for more information on that. There'll be a separate little blog and possibly video posts regarding that. So I just want to make that little mini announcement. That's coming soon. I'm working on that right now. But they got me thinking about the celebration aspect, and as leaders, how important it is to celebrate. You know, it's easy to move from one thing to the next thing and just do the kind of day-to-day grind. And depending on your personality type, you may not take the time. You may be that person that just goes check, 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 check off of your list. And we don't stop and say, wow, we just accomplished quite a bit, and celebrate that. So today's leadership is about celebrating success and why it's important as a leader with your team to celebrate the success. It's important to recognize the efforts that your team is taking. Whether it's a normal day-to-day aspect of things, whether it is you've set down micro goals, but you're going to show gratitude for the effort that's being taken in order to accomplish these larger goals. You know, last week we talked about performance management and how to set goals in the first place, that we need to be very specific and measurable, and all the SMART goals that we've heard about, but we need to take the large goals and sort of knock them down to small micro goals. And it allows a team that says, hey, we've accomplished these 3 things, which takes us to the larger goal. We haven't got there yet, but these 3 things, let's celebrate that. And so 5 reasons why you should do that. Number 1, it creates a positive environment for the team. And especially depending on the situation, at the macro level, depending on who your team is, if your team is your family or community or a team at work, if something's happening at a macro level that maybe is not as positive, that there's things going on or challenges you're facing against, by taking time to celebrate that micro win, that small win, it'll actually create a positive environment within your team. Number 2, it actually reminds the team of the goals that you set back at the beginning of the year, or the goals you set for that particular project, or the goals you set for that particular effort that you're going through. So by saying, hey, again, we haven't accomplished a large goal, but we're making progress, we're moving forward. You know, sometimes success is a matter of inches. It's about the little things and moving forward and propelling ourselves forward. 3, it motivates everyone on the team to continue the hard work. When you stop and recognize and say, hey, let's take a minute out of the day-to-day, and let's take a minute and say, here's where we were 3 months ago, here's where we were last week, and here's where we are now. And just taking a chance to stop and recognize that, it motivates everyone to continue the hard work, because you remind them of, yeah, we've been putting all these hours in, and it's great that we've accomplished these things. Number 4, it builds up momentum on the team. When you stop to celebrate those small wins, it actually builds momentum, because I feel encouraged as someone on your team, and even if I wasn't the one being celebrated, but I contributed to the effort, right? So now it builds momentum that everyone wants to get in, and so pretty soon you're driving more, you're stopping, you're celebrating. You drive more, you stop and you celebrate, and pretty soon you're not celebrating the little things, you're celebrating very large things, and you're like, hey, what's the next thing? And everyone wants to keep chugging along. And that's just a part of the human nature, is we want that success. We want to feel as if what we're doing, it counts for something. So use that, and it's for you as a leader, by the way. So use that aspect of the human nature and help yourself and the team drive to success. And then 5, it allows you to be specific on the performance of your team and on the performance of individuals. Last week we talked about performance management and how to actually make performance management a much more positive environment or activity for you. And this will be the way to do that, because again, human nature, if we mark the time that, hey, in May we did this, and in June we did this, and in September, if we keep on pace, this is what we're going to accomplish, then it marks your memory, and you're not sitting at the end of the year or biannual year trying to remember what happened. You will know because you've marked it with that success. And hopefully you're writing this down and you're putting it in your notes for the next time. So I will say there's two things I would want you to do when you're doing this. Is one, if you're going to celebrate, make sure you're doing it immediately in a timely fashion. It doesn't have to be right then or right there. And it doesn't have to be anything that's large and that's over the top. I think it can be simple as stopping and let's going out to lunch, or stopping and bringing in treats for the day, or stopping and if you do daily or weekly or monthly meetings, just taking a moment in that meeting and you're recognizing, hey, here's where we were, here's where we are, couldn't do it without your efforts. But make sure you're doing it in an immediate fashion so it's not lost, and it's not like, what are we celebrating for if we're celebrating something that happened 6 months ago. And two, you want to make sure your celebrations are meaningful. Make sure you know your team, and if it's an individual, make sure you know the individual and what they would appreciate. And most times, most people will appreciate any effort you put on because it's something that's so rare. Unfortunately, it's so rare in our organizations and in our families and in our communities that we don't stop and celebrate. And even if it's just like, let's just have fun because we've accomplished something as simple as we made it to the next goal, right? Or we opened up or secured a spot, or whatever it might be. You know what those are for your group, but making it meaningful. Make sure that when you do the celebration, that it's meaningful for everyone involved and yourself, and make sure you're sincere in that. This is not a check the box exercise. If you're going to do it as a check the box exercise, then I'd rather you not do it at all because it comes off as being ingenuine. So here's your challenge for this week. This week, I want you to look through the week, note the things that you may have to go back and look at your goals, and take a moment that this week, this month, what can you celebrate? What can you go to the team and say, you know what, we still have another 4 months left to the year, but here's where we are, and here's what we did this week, and that's going to get us closer. And see if there's something you can do to celebrate very easily, very simply with your team about what they've accomplished. And I want to hear about it. So as always, I want you to like the video. And if you do these celebrations, why don't you comment in the video what you've done? Or if you've not done this, or you're not a leader of an organization, I'm sure you've been a part of some celebration. What were some good ideas? Maybe add some tips to people in the comment section that would give them some ideas that were meaningful for you. And then if you don't mind, share the video. There's someone out there that needs to hear the message, so please go and share the message with them. And again, I'm bracing myself for I've already started to receive all the birthday wishes, and I thank you all for watching, and I thank you guys. It warms my heart when you guys give me such positive feedback. So this has been the Monday Morning Leadership Bite. Go ahead and make it a successful week. Bye.